What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to the journey. Today's video is a pretty special one to me. The title is not clickbait. Back in 2015 I ran 7 marathons in 7 days, age 19, and this is the story of how it happened really. So at that time I wasn't training triathlon at all. I was a pure runner. I'll tell you a little bit about my running background. It's actually just past the 7-year anniversary of when I very first went for a run. That was 17th of February 2013. I was about 18 stone at the time. I went for a run on the 17th. I did about 1.5 miles, stopped multiple times and walked just as much as I ran. But the very next day I signed up for my local half marathon later in the year. So that was in October. So again, I had 8 months to train for that. Yeah, that was plenty of time for me. Obviously a half marathon, 13.1 miles, I ran 1.5 miles, so I had to build that up quite a lot, but 8 months is a long time, and then you can train for anything in 8 months really. So yeah, I started out training for the half marathon, fell in love with running, the weight started falling off of me, I was absolutely hooked on running, addicted. I ran probably every day, maybe had 1 day off a week. And was putting in consistently sort of 50-60 mile weeks, yeah, comfortably. And then after doing that, I did the half marathon in October. I was completely hooked on running, I was loving it. I did it in 2 hours 27 minutes. And then the next year I signed up to do the Manchester Marathon in 2014. That was my first marathon and only my second race of any description. Yeah, I did that in 2014. I did that in 5 hours and 48 minutes, something around that. And yeah, I loved it so hard, but I loved it, and all my family came and supported me in Manchester. And yeah, I'd love to go back there one day. It was a great race. And then following on from that, I was completely I was still addicted to running. I was running probably even more miles per week and just hooked and just wanted to do more and more and more. I decided that in 2015 I would do 7 marathons in 7 days, and had no one. There's a little spot on there, just wipe that. Okay. So I decided that in 2015 I was going to do 7 marathons in 7 days, because I, had no fears at all about it really. I knew it was obviously going to be hard, but I just loved running, and I was looking forward to running all day, every day really. I knew that it was obviously going to take a lot out of me. It needed a lot of planning. I planned the nutrition, spoke to nutritionists and stuff, and what was best to put into my body and how I should set my diet out each day. Sort of did the training myself. I didn't really speak to anyone about the training, just tried to get loads of long runs in, or not even loads of long runs, just consistent long runs. And I did, to be fair, until maybe about 2 months before the 7 and 7 challenge, when I kind of just started losing, like overtrained almost, and mentally just started falling out of love with running. And I went through a phase of 2 months out where I was still running 6 times a week, but I was only sort of doing 2 or 3 miles each run, and was just getting bored, and just wasn't enjoying it. So maybe needed a little bit more experience to get myself through that period there. But I came in fresh, and I knew I had it in my legs to do those long runs. I did get a few long runs done in the last couple of weeks before the challenge. So yeah, I came in pretty good. I hadn't had any injuries or anything, and I was right down at about 14 stone, so that was ideal really. And yeah, the whole challenge was good really. I did have a few issues, as you can imagine really. So I had some of my family members sort of supporting me, mainly my mum, but also my dad and my sister was there at times as well, with all the nutrition and stuff in there, which during the runs there wasn't anything out of the ordinary really. Bananas, flapjacks, little bits of rice cakes that I made, things like that really, which gave a little bit of a crunch, a little bit of texture, a little bit of solid food into you. And then the rest of my calories were made up in like Lucozade Sports and sort of energy drinks like that, and then loads of water obviously. Wasn't helped by the fact it was absolutely baking hot that week, sort of like mid to late 20s, which I just completely timed it wrong. It was absolutely baking. I'm going to show you some photos in a minute from the week, and you'll see just how tanned I got. And yeah, it was absolutely baking that week. So yeah, I was getting up each morning, probably about 6, having some porridge, getting out about 8 maybe, and each one was taking me somewhere between 6 and 7 hours. I can't remember if 1 or 2 might have been a bit longer, but yeah, it was quite long days really. Obviously, as you can imagine, the body gets tired. I find that your body gets tired, but you do get used to the running. My muscles were fine. It was like later in the week I had some issues with some blisters and sort of just sort of like the impact injuries really, from you sort of hitting down God knows how many times, thousands and thousands of times that week. Yeah, so that was the only sort of issues I had. But the main injury that I had that week was on day 4. I woke up and the back of my right knee was just swollen, like I couldn't bend my knee, which obviously is a big issue for running. So the issue turned out to be an IT band sort of swelling. So that I was having massages every other day, but from day 4 we started doing a massage every day, and I was luckily I was able to get massaged onto the back of my leg, going up, back of my right leg going up into my back, because the IT band goes all the way through your body pretty much. I don't know, I think it starts at your knee and goes all the way up into your back. So yeah, that all needed massaging out, and I remember sitting there on day 4 and I'd had an absolutely awful day, like in agony. It was hurting so much, but I managed to get through it, just because I knew that it would be able to be fixed, or at least I thought it would be. So yeah, I remember going to my my sports massage guy on the Thursday evening, and I literally fell asleep on the table, and I must have been in there an hour and a half or so. But he'd sorted all the issues and literally like got off the massage bed, and I was sore, but it felt looser already. And then literally the next day I woke up and it was a little bit sore, but completely fine. Like no issues really, nothing more than any other part of my body hurt really. So I carried on, and it did swell up again. It did sort of flame up. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it did swell up a bit later on in the week. The last day, it was a little bit uncomfortable, but not bad at all. The support in Stroud, my hometown, was amazing, particularly towards the end of the week. The last couple of days I had people with me all the time, running with me, people out on the street sort of supporting me, giving me cheers, and people driving past and beeping and waving. And actually went past a few businesses where all the employees came out and sort of cheered me on and stuff. So yeah, it was awesome. And so day 7 was the London Marathon. So I did the first 6 marathons unofficially. Obviously you can't go to find a race on a Monday, or you probably could find some on a Saturday, but pretty much all the way through the week you can't do official marathons. So I just sort of measured them on my watch. So yeah, all the way through. The first day I did a route where it was fairly hilly, which was obviously bad planning really, because I should have looked after my body and found the flattest route I could. But I was trying to get in sort of like loads of places where people would be able to see me. So I went to Stroud, Nailsworth, Tetbury, Stonehouse, Minchinhampton, loads of different places like where I thought people would be able to see me, and maybe people would come and run with me. But then after that we changed the route for the next 5 days, just to give me a flat route, so I could look after myself. So I'll show you a few photos from the week. I had this book made with a load of photos, which is a really nice memory, which is how I look back on the whole thing really. It was just a whole nice memory. So I started the challenge at the Stroud subscription rooms, which is basically like a town hall in the middle of Stroud. So here's a few photos here from the Monday morning. This is lots of my family members, and yeah, a few people I didn't know, a few press people as well. So yeah, all the way through, the first day I did a route where it was fairly hilly, which was obviously bad planning really, because I should have looked after my body and found the flattest route I could. But I was trying to get in sort of like loads of places where people would be able to see me. So And yeah, lots of people, probably about 30 people came out to cheer me, which was awesome. And yeah, got going on the Monday. Here is the photos of me. You can see where I'm burnt to death. Hopefully you can see that all right. That was probably on day 2 or 3. I remember the start of the week was absolutely baking hot. So yeah, it was a little bit cooler earlier in the week, but still not that cool. Some more photos here from early in the week, where you can see it's still really hot. And running in my Bernardo's kit, which is who I raised money for. And then here's a couple of photos of a lady here who I ran with, I think at least once, maybe twice. Can't remember her name, this was 5 years ago now, but yeah. What else have we got in here? These ladies here are from Cotswold All Runners, which is a local running group. Ran with them on the Saturday or the Friday, I think. And then there was a couple of people who took photos with me in Stonehouse later in the week. And then there's lots of my family members later on in the week who came out to support me and run with me as well. What else have we got in here? And then this here is from London on day 7 at the start of the marathon. You can see there how tanned I was. I really caught the sun that week. It was crazy. Yeah, lots of good memories, particularly from the London Marathon. Although I'd love to go back and do it where I wasn't hurting so much. Here's some of the photos from outside Buckingham Palace as I'm coming down the finish straight. And that was amazing as well. You know, finishing there. An amazing race. You need to go and do that race. You know, a lot of people are put off by the having to commit to raising money for a certain charity, but you've got to do it. You've got to do that race. What else have we got? And then here's a photo of me at the end with my medal. Yeah, awesome week. Loved it. Hurt a lot. Struggled a lot afterwards with injuries. Didn't get back to fitness for ages, but I loved it. Loved the whole thing, and definitely going to do big things in the future. Even if it be multi-day things or what, but I'm set that I'm gonna keep pushing the boat out and keep doing big things now. That's who I am. That's my addictive personality, and I want to do big things. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this video here. I hope you all have enjoyed this video, and I'm in the middle of filming my a week in half Ironman training video. I'm on the Wednesday now, obviously, so that video will be going up on Monday and will feature my whole training week. You'll get to see everything. Hopefully the video won't be too long, definitely less than 20 minutes. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and I shall see you on Monday with a new video. See you then.